Hey guys, and welcome back! Today we're going to open up some Magic Battlebond. So, Magic Battlebond is a new set. It's just coming out today, assuming you're watching this on upload day. And it is a supplemental Magic set, so it doesn't go into standard, but it is built around two-headed giant drafting. For people who don't know, two-headed giant drafting, you sit down with a partner, you open a pack, you take 2 cards instead of 1, you draft more packs, I think it's 4 you draft rather than just a 3. Then you build 2 decks and you play together as one team. You have your own deck, your own hand, but you share a life total. You can both block when your opponents attack. You can discuss things with each other, etc. It's quite fun. It's a fun way to multiplayer Magic.
I love Two-Headed Giant. It's probably my favorite way to play for fun.
Yeah. Sometimes with pre-releases we manage to play some Two-Headed Giant. So, similar to sets like Conspiracy, this has a set of new cards which are specially designed for this set, and then a lot of older reprints of cards. Some of them are pretty cool reprints that we've been waiting on for a while, such as True Name Nemesis and Doubling Season, and a lot of the new cards are really cool too. The new cards become legal in Legacy and Vintage, but don't enter Standard or Modern.
Makes sense.
So there is a cool new mechanic called Partner, and that was sort of a mechanic in Commander for a while, in a previous Commander set. But this one's quite different because they partner specifically with other cards and have the ability that if one comes into play, a target player can search their deck for the other one and put it into their hand. And because of this, because they want you to draft both, if one of the partner cards appears in a pack, the other one will too. That means that if you get a rare partner card, your pack's going to have 2 rares in it. If you get a mythic partner card, your pack's going to have 2 mythics. And if you get a foil partner card, I believe your pack is going to have 2 foils.
That's
because
cool.
They always want the partner together. I think this is the first time that packs could have more than 1 foil, other than fully foiled packs, which I know they did for one set. Okay, so let's just get going. It's still, I believe, 36 packs to a box. Just like Conspiracy.
Cool artwork.
Yeah, so that's a partner set. That's a partner set. I don't know their names off the top of my head. Ooh, let's have a look inside this thing. Okay, this thing just has like an intro to Two-Headed Giant, as told by Zindersplit. Cool. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that name. And his partner, Ocon. And they just explain how Two-Headed Giant works, and how the new partner mechanic works that I just explained. So that's pretty cool. It's, as usual when we do Magic, I'm just going to flick through, have a quick look at the uncommons, talk about the rare for a little bit. Or the rares, if there's more than one of them.
Are we going to talk about common or uncommon partners?
If I see any, yeah. I'm not sure how they... I don't know if there are common partners. I'm sure there are uncommons, but... Wow, that pack is hard to get into, and it feels loose compared to a normal pack. Huh. Okay, so the token is at the front of the pack. That's different. Then we get the land. Then the foil. And then the rare. Okay,
so that's like backwards?
Yeah, that's interesting. Huh. Okay, this is Assist is the other new mechanic in the set. It allows other players to play part of the colourless cost of spells. And that's our first rare, Angelic Chorus. 3 white enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to its toughness. So that's really weird if the pack is backwards. I don't really want to be flipping each card forward. I guess it means it's for the draft. It means you see the rare first, which I guess is kind of cool. All right, so we have Nixathid, 1 black for a 7/7. When it enters the battlefield, choose an opponent. Nixathid gets -1/-1 for each card in the chosen player's hand. So stuff like that one's a reprint, but stuff like that is cool in Two-Headed Giant because you can choose either one of the heads of your other team as the opponent you choose. Okay. It just feels so unnatural, like showing off the rare and then flicking through the rest of the pack.
Right.
Yeah, hold one of these. They feel so different, right?
Oh,
the pack feels really loose. It feels like there's so much room in the pack. Like there's a lot of like excess
Extra
packaging.
space, yeah.
It's really weird. Alright, so we have Game Plan. This is a new rare. 5 and a blue, assist, so another player can pay up to 5 colours of the spell's cost. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards. Exile Game Plan. So pretty good. It means that if one of you can pay the full 6, which lets the other head then have 7 new cards and a lot to do, or you can pay 3 each to let you both have something to do after you've shuffled and drawn. That's a reprint. I think that one's new uncommon, but I'm not going to go through all of those. Alright. The packs also tear really differently as well. I don't know how to explain it. Pick up some Battlebond and you'll see. There's a foil. Oh, and a rare Tidespout Tyrant. That is a reprint. 5 blue, blue, blue for a 5/5 flying. Whenever you cast a spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. It is a very good reanimator target. Reanimate turn 1 and start casting some spells and they can never really do anything again. Here we go. We have our first partner pair. We have Soulblade Corruptor and Soulblade Renewer. So both 5 mana, one's a 2/2, one's a 3/3. This one has Death Touch, and whenever a creature with a +1/+1 counter on it attacks one of your opponents, that creature gains Death Touch. And this one, when it enters the battlefield, support 2, so put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures. So they both complement each other pretty well. This one puts the counters, this one gives the creatures Death Touch when they attack with counters. Ooh, Chain Lightning. I like Chain Lightning.
So, as far as the partner pairs, are they usually in certain colors? Can they be anything?
I think they span all colours, but I think they're trying. The partners are always different colours to each other. I don't think there's anything where the 2 partners are the same.
Okay.
Ooh. So we have Will Kenrith, 4 blue blue Planeswalker, foil Planeswalker Will. Starts at 4, +2 until your next turn. Up to 2 target creatures each have base power and toughness 0/3 and lose all abilities. -2, target player draws 2 cards. Until your next turn, instant sorcery and planeswalker spells that player casts cost 2 less to cast. And -8, target player gets an emblem with, whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, copy it, you may choose targets for the copy. Partners with Rowan Kenrith, which means we have foil Planeswalker Rowan Kenrith in the same pack. 4 red, legendary Planeswalker Rowan starts at 4. +2, during target player's next turn, each creature that player controls attacks if able. -2, Rowan Kenrith deals 3 damage to each tapped creature target player controls. And -8, target player gets an emblem with, whenever you activate an ability that isn't a mana ability, copy it, you may choose new targets for the copy. That is awesome.
I don't think we've opened anything that cool for Magic in a while.
Well, I mean, just the fact that it's a pair of foil Planeswalkers is... We're never going to get much that cool. Okay, and then we see a rare land. This is actually part of a new... a half cycle. It just does the allied colours. Okay. Spire Garden. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents.
Okay.
And it taps for a red or a green. So there's the full allied colour cycle, the 5 allied colour pairs.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. It's a really nice land cycle. Because it's good for 2-headed giant and it adds a lot to like EDH play.
Yeah.
I know a lot of EDH players are really interested in those.
Makes sense.
Alright. And also, if you go along to your Battlebond release event, there are promo packs. Each team gets a promo pack, and it has one of the partner pairs in as promos. So you can get these guys as promos as well, or any of the partners that are in the set. Alright, great and good. This one is a reprint. 2 green enchantment. Sacrifice a creature, draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power, then discard 3 cards. I think that was one that was actually a little expensive before it got reprinted, which is nice. It wasn't super expensive, but it's always nice to have a reprint of something that, you know, is just getting up there, but not seeing a huge amount of play. I think Seedborn Muse is also in the set, which is a nice one. I think that was pushing $40 before this reprint.
Jeez.
So hopefully we get a hold of one of those. Alright. Ooh, there's our first mythic, Land Tax. That is a reprint. It is 1 white enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if an opponent controls more lands than you, you may search your library for up to 3 basic lands, reveal them, put them into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Land Tax is a great cube card. A lot of cubes run it. This is the first time that this art has been printed in non-foil, because this art had a Judge foil printing a little while back, But I think the Judge foil printing is getting pretty expensive now, and I think even the original printing is starting to creep up there. So a land tax reprint is pretty nice to get them into people's cubes. Foils always nice to get them towards people's cubes too.
Yeah, it seems like a good card too.
Yeah, it's very good in cube. I don't think it's good enough to be legacy playable. I don't think anything plays it. But for stuff like Cube, where you can build around it, and of course stuff for EDH2, where just one of your opponents has to get more lands.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, now we have our first partner rare. That is Intersplit, Eye of Wisdom. It is 4 and a blue for a 1/4, partners with Okan, Eye of Chaos. At the beginning of your combat, on your turn, flip a coin until you lose a flip. Whenever a player wins a coin flip, draw a card. Which means we get the matching rare, Okan, Eye of Chaos, 4 and a red for a 3/3. Partners with Intersplit. At the beginning of combat on your turn, flip a coin until you use a flip. Whenever a player wins a coin flip, double Okan's power and toughness until end of turn.
Whoa.
Very powerful if they're both in play.
That's really fun.
Yeah, you can draw a lot of cards and make him huge really quickly. Not quite as cool as double planeswalkering, but
I mean, it's still pretty cool.
it is pretty cool. Alright, we have Korvath's Fury. I think this is a new card too. 4 and a red. For each player, choose friend or foe. Each friend discards all cards from their hand, then draws that many cards +1. Korvath's Fury deals damage to each foe equal to the number of cards in their hand.
Whoa.
So you can have yourself draw some more cards and your partner draw some more cards and then deal damage to both of your two-headed giant opponents.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that is definitely cool. Spell Snare is also a nice reprinted uncommon. It was reprinted in the first Modern Masters, I think, but the price was starting to get up there. I think it was like $8, $9 again.
Okay.
And just having a nice uncommon reprint is always cool for these sets.
I like the art on that one too.
Yeah, I know.
It's different, right?
No, that's the same artwork. But I know that you've told me that you like that artwork when you've seen it before. Okay, Magmatic Force. 5 red, red, red for a 7/7. At the beginning of your upkeep, Magmatic Force deals 3 damage to any target.
Of each upkeep.
At the beginning of each upkeep, what did I say?
Your.
Okay, beginning of each upkeep. Cool. Even better.
Yeah. Oh, I like that Sphinx too.
That is a reprint Sphinx, I think. I don't know where it's from, but just
It's cool. Yeah.
Getting through this a bit quicker without having to flick through the commons.
Yeah.
I mean, the commons don't get any screen time, but no one really cares. No one watches these for the commons. Have Diabolic Intent. 1 and a black sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice a creature. Search your library for a card and put the card in your hand. Then shuffle your library. Oh, we have partnering uncommons. Lore Weaver and Ley Weaver. They're both 2/2s for 4 mana. One of them you can tap to untap 2 target lands, and one you can pay 5 blue blue, target player draws 2 cards. And obviously this one can untap the lands of the controller of this one.
That makes sense.
So,
I love the artwork on those too.
yeah, all of the partners have really cool artwork because those are like kind of in the background. We didn't really see it on the when we were looking at Zyndasplit, but if you look at Rowan and Will, they are in the background of each other's artwork.
I love that.
Yeah, it's always nice when they do stuff like that. And I don't think Magic's really had too much opportunity to do that. Oh, well, there's our Rowan emblem. And our rare is Regna's Sanction. 3 and a white sorceries. For each player, choose friend or foe. Each friend puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature they control. Each foe chooses 1 untapped creature they control, then taps the rest.
Jeez, alright.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Oh, Silver Chase Fox.
Yeah, you like Silver Chase Fox.
Yep.
I remember. Silver Chase Fox is back in the set.
He's from one of the sets that were based on, like, mythology. Like the Greek and Roman mythology. Oh, Raptor Companion's back too.
Yeah. Alright. Our rare is Last One Standing. 1 black red sorcery. Choose a creature at random, then destroy the rest.
Alright.
Could go well, could go bad. But such is the nature of black and red spells. Alright. And a reprint, Apocalypse Hydra. This was in one of the Modern Masters as well. Green, red, X for a 0/0. Enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. If X is 5 or more, it enters the battlefield with an additional X +1/+1 counters on it. Pay 1 in a red, remove a +1/+1 counter from it to deal a damage to any target. So it can be a 7 mana 10/10. Which is quite good. Alright. So we've seen one regular mythic so far in our pairing of foil mythics. So hopefully we see a couple more pretty soon. Ooh. Regna the Redeemer. Partners with Krav the Unredeemed. 5 and a white for a 4/4 flying. At the beginning of each end step, if your team gained life this turn, create 2 1/1 white warrior creature tokens. And Krav the Unredeemed. 4 and a black, 3/3. And you can pay a black, sacrifice X creatures, target player draws X cards and gains X life, put X +1/+1 counters on Krav the Unredeemed. So a way to make you gain life, and something that gives you creatures when you gain life, which you can then sacrifice back to Krav. Draw lots of extra cards.
I really like that pair.
Hey, they move Peregrine Drake back up to uncommon. Okay, so if you get a rare, it replaces the... If you get 2 rares, it replaces the uncommon, it looks like.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I think it's if you get 2 foils, it replaces 2 commons, maybe? Is I think what they said. Because normally a foil will replace a common.
We could have checked.
We could have checked. I didn't think at the time. I was too excited about my double foil mythic pack. Ooh, true name Nemesis. 1 blue for 3/1. As it enters the battlefield, choose a player. True name Nemesis has protection from the chosen player. Kind of garbage in Two-Headed Giant, but almost unbeatable in one-on-one Magic. Originally printed in a Commander set, I think the second year of Commander sets, and just generally a really, really annoying legacy creature.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we have a partner set. Some 4 mana 2/2s. 1 when it attacks, attacking warriors get +1/+1 at the end of turn, and then 1 for 3 mana you can make a warrior.
Cool.
Right, so I think True Name is the second most expensive card in the set after Doubling Season.
Awesome.
But I think even they've both come down quite a bit, which is what reprint sets are good to do. Beautiful Promenade, that is another one of the rare land cycle. This one tapping for green or white and coming to play tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents.
Bountiful.
What did I say?
Beautiful.
It's bountiful. It's late. It's getting late. And I can only sometimes read.
That's fair.
Alright. Ooh, Seedborn Muse. That was the other one I'd mentioned earlier that was a really, really expensive rare before they reprinted it. 3 green for a 2/4. Untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step.
Cool.
Oh, and Veteran Explorer was a nice reprint in this set too. It's Fringe Legacy playable in a deck. It's a 1 green for a 1/1, and when it dies, each player may search the library for 2 basic lands and put them on the battlefield. Because it takes... It goes over the fact that most Legacy decks won't be playing basic lands.
Sure.
So often it can just be you sack it somehow and then you double Rampant Growth and they get no effect.
That's cool. Halfway through the box, I feel like we're doing alright so far.
Yeah, definitely doing okay so far. Okay, we have Virtus the Veiled, 2 and a black for a 1/1, partners with Gorm the Great. As Death Touch, when it deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life rounded up.
Jeez.
And Gorm the Great, 3 and a green for a 2/7. Vigilance, it must be blocked if able, and must be blocked by 2 or more creatures if able.
Oh wow, that makes it super easy for his partner to get through.
Yeah, so if they only have 2 creatures between the 2 of them, they have to put them both in front of Gorm. Alright, we have War's Toll, 3 and a red enchantment. Whenever an opponent taps a land for mana, tap all lands that player controls. If a creature an opponent controls attacks, all creatures that opponent controls attacks if able.
Whew.
So, makes it kind of awkward for people to attack, and just makes it so you never have to worry about counter spells. They either have to not play anything on their turn, or they can play they can counter something in your first main phase, but then they have to float all of their mana, And you can just go to your second main phase and resolve some spells. Alright, new Scraff Mob. That is 4 black for a 0/0, and it's the battlefield with 5 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever a player casts a spell, remove a +1/+1 counter from it, and if you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. I think that this one was Shadows over Innistrad block. It was nuts in limited. Oh, and then we have the Weavers again, paired up, and I haven't seen partner on any commons. I haven't really been looking though.
So not every pack is going to have a partner pairing.
No, not everyone. Ooh, play of the game. 6 white with assist, so another player can pay up to 6 of the spell's cost. Exile all non-land permanents.
That could help out.
Yeah, always good to have some sort of wrath when you're behind. And a wrath that you can cast if you're mana screwed is also great. Okay. Oh, Core Spirit Dancer. This one was a nice reprint. It wasn't too expensive, but it's always good to have. 1 and a white, 0/2. Core Spirit Dancer gets +2/+2 for each aura attached to it. Whenever you cast an aura spell, you may draw a card.
Cool.
Great in the Boggles deck. Alright.
There's quite a lot of the Tarkir dragons back, it looks like.
There are a few of them back, yeah. Savage Vent wasn't there, and Enduring Scale Lord, I think, were both Tarkir dragons.
Is Harbinger?
I don't remember.
Ooh.
That's Guafa Hazid Profiteer. 1 white and blue for a 2/2, and white and blue tap, put a bribery counter on target creature you don't control. Its controller draws a card. Creatures with bribery counters on them can't attack or block.
Cool.
So you can put them on the opponent's creatures. They draw some cards, but stopping them attacking or blocking is pretty good. Oh, there's another mythic. This one is not a reprint. Stunning Reversal, 3 and a black instant. The next time you would lose the game this turn, instead draw 7 cards and your life total becomes 1. Exile Stunning Reversal. Yeah, that one is... There's a few new mythics which are all cool. That one is definitely something interesting.
Yeah, it's a little different.
No, Evil Twin, that one's a reprint, I remember this one. 2 blue-black for 0/0. You may have Evil Twin enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it gains blue-black tap, destroy target creature with the same name as this creature.
Cool.
I like this one. It's a really terrible card, but pay 3 life, flip a coin, if you win, gain 6 life. In case you really want to gamble.
I don't really think of Magic as a coin flip game, but we've already seen...
There's a few. It is more so in the supplemental sets than it is in standard legal sets.
That makes sense.
Okay, we have Purr's Whim. 3 and a green. For each player, choose friend or foe. Each friend searches their library for a land card, puts it on the battlefield tapped, and then shuffles their library. Each foe sacrifices an artifact or enchantment they control. And that it doesn't just get basic lands. You can get any land from that, which is pretty cool. Okay. Oh, Vigor. This one was another reprint that I think... This one was like $16, $17 before they reprinted it, because it was a rare printed back in Lorwyn.
Oh, yeah?
And yeah. 3 green, 6/6 trample. If damage will be dealt to another creature you control, prevent that damage. Put a +1/+1 counter on that creature for each 1 damage prevented this way. When Vigor is put into a graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it into its owner's library.
Cool.
So notice we got a Rowan emblem, we haven't got a Will emblem yet. Mind Blade Render, and a new card. 1 and a black For a 1/3, whenever your opponents are dealt combat damage, if any of that damage was dealt by a warrior, you may draw a card and lose a life.
Cool. Oh, look at him.
And this is another partner, Chakram Slinger and Chakram Retriever. Both 5 mana 2/4s. One has, whenever you cast a spell during your turn, untap target creature, and the other is red and tap. It deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. So the dog can keep untapping the human.
That's really cool.
So then the human can keep shocking things.
Throwing frisbees for the dog.
Yep.
Ooh.
Oh, another new one. Together Forever. White enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, support 2. You pay 1. Choose target creature with a counter on it. When that creature dies this turn, return that card to its owner's hand. That's pretty cool. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 packs left. I think we should be due another mythic in the box. I think it's 4 mythics. Not counting the foils, so hopefully... Ooh, Mystic Confluence. This was a nice reprint too. 3 blue instant. Choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. Return target creature to its owner's hand, or draw a card.
Alright.
That one was... Oh, and there's one of the new dragons.
Oh, cool.
Which I know you like. That one was first printed in a Commander set. It's kind of gutting that the blue Confluence is the one that got the reprint in this set, because that one has already had a foil printing as a judge foil. So it would have been kind of cool to see one of the other Confluences be in this set, because the blue, red, and black ones are all cube playable. So it'd be nice seeing the red one or the black one getting a chance to get a foil for people's cubes. Alright, Sentinel Tower. 4 mana artifact. Whenever an instant or sorcery spell is cast during your turn, Sentinel Tower deals damage to any target equal to 1 plus the number of instant or sorcery spells cast before that spell this turn. Okay, a little confusing, but...
Very wordy.
yeah,
Did that dragon have 2 heads, by the way?
I think so.
Cool.
The 9 mana one from earlier.
Yeah.
Alright, Thrilling Encore. 4 and a black. Instant. Put onto the battlefield under your control all creature cards in all graveyards that were put there from the battlefield this turn.
Cool.
So,
Alright.
if your other head has a wrath effect,
Yeah?
yeah, that is not bad.
Fun.
Alright, Luxury Suite. That is another one of that rare land cycle.
Cool.
So that's what, 3 out of the 5 of the rare lands?
Not bad.
Not bad. I think they are some of the more desirable rares from the set. Oh, and there is another mythic. This one is a new one. Bramble Sovereign. 2 green for a 4/4. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield, you may pay 1 and a green. If you do, that creature's controller creates a token that is a copy of that creature.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so your partner can put out a huge creature and you can pay 2 mana to give them another one.
I like it.
Oh, Genesis Chamber is in the set at uncommon too. That one is a nice reprint. Alright, last pack. Oh, I accidentally put that mythic into the pile there, instead of putting it with the mythic. Right, final pack. We have Archon of Valor's Reach. 4 green-white, 5/6, flying, vigilance, trample. As it enters the battlefield, choose artifact, enchantment, instant, sorcery, or planeswalker. Players can't cast spells of the chosen type.
Cool.
Interesting. Oh, and we have another partner pair to finish off with. So, a 3 mana 0/4 and a 3 mana 1/1. One of them you can pay a white to tap target creature, and the other one, when it attacks, it gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the greatest power among tapped creatures your opponent controls. That's pretty cool.
I wonder if that protege is supposed to be the same guy on Stunning Reversal. There aren't too many purple-haired magic players, or magic cards.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Alright, so that was a pretty good box. 4 mythics, including some pretty good reprints, and then 2 foil-y partner mythics.
Very cool.
So the set looks cool. I'm looking forward to opening more of it. Probably playing some Two-Headed Giant with Laura.
Yeah, I would love to
if we can
play some of this set for sure.
Yeah. The packs feel weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there, but I don't hate it. They opened a bit easier.
That's good.
It just felt strange. And for doing these videos, having the rares at the front is nicer. I guess for drafting, it's a bit nicer since you are probably going to go look at the rare first anyway.
Yeah.
Obviously, having the partners together is great for Two-Headed Giant drafting. So.
Yeah, it feels like a really well thought out set.
Yeah, it's definitely a really cool idea. It's a nice addition to the supplemental sets. The supplemental sets have really been hitting. The supplemental sets have just all been hits lately. Like, the conspiracy sets are really good.
Yeah.
I know people who play Commander are enjoying Commander. The fact that the supplemental sets are finding different ways to draft is always nice.
Yeah.
Like, because Two-Headed Giant draft was always just something you kind of did. Like, some people played Two-Headed Giant Seal for pre-release, which wasn't too bad. But Two-Headed Giant draft was something you did occasionally, but you never really were looking forward to it for most of the time, at least in my experience. But this really makes me want to do it.
Yeah,
it's really
for sure.
It's really going to go for it. So this will definitely not be the last Battlebond I open. I don't know whether I'll do any more on camera.
It seems like there's a lot of really powerful cards in the set too that games probably go pretty quick.
Possibly. I don't know how it plays out, because I mean, if everyone has powerful cards,
That's
then
true.
Games are going to go long. But we'll see more of that when we actually play it. Okay, so we'll leave it there for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know I definitely enjoyed this box.
Much better than the last one.
Definitely, yeah. What was the last one? The Modern Masters one that had no value in it?
Absolutely zero.
Something like that. Okay, so we will see you guys again soon.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching.